Hi everyone. So this is just a little video, and this is for people who are working with Chrome Music Lab, the song maker. And sometimes I post a song or a loop that I've created, and then I say certain things about how to go about making it, like go into settings, do this, do that. But I feel like I need to maybe clarify some things and really outline how to do all of this a little bit better. So for example, if I posted in Google Classroom, this is grade 6, but it could be for any class. I posted something for the song Light Switch by Charlie Puth. So I posted, and then I did sort of an updated version. So if you were to click on that, it would bring you to this page. And then it just loops. So I made it 8-bar loop. So if you are, if I ask you to recreate something that I've done, that means you want to have this open, and you want to have a blank one open. You may also have the YouTube video that I've posted, if like this one that you're watching right now. You would want to have that open too. If you my video here, and if I'm saying do this, do this, do this, and you pause the video, you go to your blank one. Okay, so for example, right now, in order to do this, you need to go into settings. So we'll go down here, settings. I often tell you to change the number of bars. So it's automatically set up to be 4 bars long. But if we want to do something longer, then we have to make it a bigger number here, increase the number. So we can either press plus, 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 or we can click on this and then change it that way. So I'll just do it here. So we're going to go up to 8 bars. So make it 8 bars in length. 16 is the maximum. And beats per bar, it's pretty much always 4/4. There are songs that might sometimes be in 3 or 6 beats per bar. If we wanted to do more complicated rhythms, like 16th notes, we would change this, but I've never done that for any of the songs yet. The scale, we're pretty much always going to be major. Start on, middle C. So sometimes I mention start on low C. Okay, for this one, we're not changing it to low C. We're going to keep it at middle C. That means that when we go to Chrome Music Lab, the very lowest note here is either middle. This would be middle C, which on a piano, that's pretty much more or less the C that's right in the middle. If you change the setting to low C, it wouldn't be middle C on the piano. It would be the next C below that. So if you wanted to have more notes that were lower sounding, then you would change this to low C. And sometimes I ask you to do that, but not for this one. Range. Okay, it's automatically set. We call that a default. If something's automatically set to something 2 octaves, change it to 3. Okay, so we change the octaves to 3 and the number of bars to 8. Okay. I'm not going to make the whole song again, because that's part of it. Any assignment that I give you is that you try and do it. But you could start with the melody up here. You could start with the low notes, or you could start with the drum rhythm if there is a drum rhythm. So I'm going to start with the drum rhythm. I'm going to look at it and just take a little bit of it, and then I'm going to go over to the blank one and try and write it in. So I've got on beat 1, I've got a bass kick, beat 2 and 2 and, right? Because this is 2 and this is 2 and. We've got triangle, circle. So circle, triangle, circle. So we'll go over here. Make sure you can, I'm using my mouse to if I need to go up and down on here, if you can kind of see that. I want to make sure I'm at, if I was putting notes in, but we go, okay. So we're going to go bass, drum. This is a snare, and then 1, 2, and 3. The next one was there. So we've got 1, 2, and nothing on beat 3, but the 3 and 4. So we go back. I already wrote that one in, and then 4. So let's check the tempo. I have it way up, okay, at 153. So let's change that too. You can play around with this sometimes if you want to, and just try it at different speeds. Okay, so now, so boom, boom, boom. We're just gonna, you would, at this point, you would copy. If you can see, this is beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. So that's one bar. This is bar 2, slightly different color. It's the same, I use the same drum beat throughout. So you would just keep copying this 4 beat pattern and just rewrite it here, and then rewrite it here, and then make sure you slide over, and then write it again for each. And then listen to it and make sure that everything sounds right, okay? So that would be one step if the song I post has drums. Next, you might want to start with, you could just do everything all at once, or you could just do one thing, one part. I basically have 2 parts at a time, okay? So I've got this lower notes, which are more like a bass note, like a bass player. And then this is the melody. So you could start with one or the other. Let's start with the bass notes are usually simpler. Because I really did keep it kind of simple. Maybe we could possibly do something different here to create it, maybe a more interesting rhythm to it, but we'll just keep it for now. Beat 1 and beat 3. We've got, and what note are we on? C, D, or orange, right? D. Beat 1, beat 3, beat 1, beat 3. So we would go over here. We'd make sure we're scrolled down. I'm using my mouse to scroll down. You can also use the slider over here to go up and down. Make sure you're all the way at the bottom. So beat 1 and beat 3. And then beat 1 and beat 3. Let's change the sound to strings. So it's really just kind of marking the bass and the note of the chord. The next note is F. If we can look over here. It's just following the bass note, I kept it really simple, just always on beat 1 and beat 3. And so there's 4 Fs. So you would write in all your Fs, C, D, E, F. Then you would skip a beat right here, and so on. Okay, the next note, if you check, is after the Fs is the red, the lowest note, C. 4 C's, and then it goes up to G, and there's 4 G's, following the same pattern, okay? So you would write that in next. You'd have C's. Like I said, I'm not going to do everything here. Okay, so you would, that's one part. I posted that Mozart assignment, which has 4 parts. So that's why you would watch each video that I made 4 videos, and you would start with one part and write in one part and save it. And then start watch the video and start the second part. And you'd have both a blank one open and then the one that I am sharing with you. Okay. And that's how you would do it. Okay. Continuing on. So let's just do maybe this first phrase of the melody. So we've got purple, which is C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay. On beat 1, we got an A, and then it goes down to a G on beat 2. So beat 1, C, D, E, F, G, A. So there's the first part. It goes to orange here on beat 4. Okay. Okay, so there's the first melody phrase. And then there's a blank beat on beat 1. We've got Fs all across beat 2, beat 3. So you would go over here. So beat 1 should be blank. And then we want Fs going across beat 2. Okay, I know it skipped one and then it started another F there. Let's see. Okay, so we skipped one, and then we should have 2 more Fs. So 1. Okay. And we already did this note. And then, okay, so it's hard to see this. This is beat 1 of this bar, and this is beat 2. So we've got purple, and then what do we call that? Like some kind of a green, like an emerald green or something. Purple and dark green. Okay, so this is the process. I should note, like, this song is actually in a slightly different key with flats in it, which are black keys on the piano. So we're using a C major scale, so I just changed every note down by 1 semitone, or just by a little tiny bit. There's still one note that we can't play because we do need a B flat, but so I've just modified the melody in like a couple of spots where you probably notice it doesn't sound quite exactly the same. Instead of going to a B flat, because we can't write that in here, I went to a note that would complement it, that wouldn't sound bad, but it's not the exact right melody. So you would just continue on in this way. You would go, okay, after that, there's a rest here, and then 3 notes going down. Rest here, 1, 2, 3, and then you can double check. Okay, and then a beat, and then a green, and then 2 more green. Okay, so that's as far as I'm gonna go with it. Okay, so your assignment is to finish that. I'm not even going to post this version, but this video, hopefully you find it helpful. If you're trying to do the Mozart one that has the 4 parts, so like I said, you would do 1 part, watch the video, create the first part, save it, and then watch the second video. And then so you'd be starting with having 1 part, and you would write in the second part for Mozart. And then you would save it, and then you'd start and watch the 3rd video, do the 3rd part, and so on. Okay, so that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Post your work. Post questions if you have questions. Thanks, guys.